Hello, and welcome back. I'm so happy you're here today. I hope you're doing well and that you're ready to enjoy another peaceful, creative session with me. Before we begin, I want to say a heartfelt thank you. I've been reading all of your wonderful comments, and I truly enjoy every one of them. One of my favorite things is discovering where you're watching from. It always amazes me to see messages arriving from so many different countries and cultures. It's a beautiful reminder that creativity has a way of bringing people together, no matter where we live. So if you haven't already, I'd love for you to leave me a comment and let me know where you're joining me today. Now, let's talk about today's drawing. I'm especially excited about this one because the subject is something I find fascinating from a compositional point of view. Composition is one of those elements that can completely transform a piece of art. It's about deciding where to place the main subject, how to guide the viewer's eye through the image, and how to create balance, harmony, and a sense of movement. Sometimes it's not the complexity of the subject that makes a drawing interesting, but the way the different shapes and spaces relate to one another. As always, I'd like to invite you to play a little guessing game with me. Can you figure out what I'm drawing before it becomes obvious? Share your guess in the comments. I always enjoy reading them. And I'd also love to know, do you enjoy drawing yourself? Or do you simply like watching the creative process unfold? Whatever brings you here today, I'm truly grateful you've chosen to spend these next few minutes with me. So get comfortable, perhaps with a cup of tea or coffee nearby, and let's begin another creative journey together. as I continue working on this painting, I'd like to share one of the things that fascinates me most about art: composition. When people first begin painting, it's very natural to focus on color, technique, or details. But over time, I've realized that composition is often what gives a painting its real strength. It's the invisible structure that holds everything together. One of the most powerful ways to create movement in a painting is by using diagonal lines. They're full of energy. Unlike horizontal lines, which tend to feel calm and stable, or vertical lines, which often suggest strength, diagonals naturally guide our eyes across the image. In today's painting, the land slopes quite dramatically. In fact, if you were to place a small ball on the right-hand side of the scene, it would immediately roll all the way down toward the left. I like imagining that because it reminds me that composition isn't just something we see, it's something we almost feel. Our eyes tend to follow those same invisible paths. Without realizing it, we're invited to travel through the landscape. I think that's one of the reasons composition is so fascinating. It quietly influences the way we experience a painting. A small change in the position of a hill, a tree, or the horizon can completely transform the feeling of the scene. And as you'll probably notice while watching me work, I'm making decisions constantly. Painting is rarely a straight line from beginning to end. I'm always looking at what I've done, asking myself whether something feels right, and making adjustments along the way. If I feel that a shape isn't working, I change it. If a color feels too strong, I soften it. If I think a line could lead the eye more effectively, I move it. That's simply how painting works. There are almost endless possibilities, and every brushstroke is a decision. The wonderful thing is that very few of those decisions are permanent. We can repaint, redraw, simplify, or completely change our minds. I think that's one of the most liberating aspects of art. It reminds us that we don't have to get everything right the first time. We explore, we observe, we make decisions, and if something isn't working, we simply make another one. I'd love to know, when you look at a landscape, what captures your attention first? Is it the light, the colors, the distant horizon, or perhaps the feeling the place gives you? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And with that, today's painting is complete. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and for sharing another relaxing creative journey. I hope you've enjoyed watching this painting develop from a few simple marks into a finished piece, and that it has inspired you to slow down, observe a little more carefully, and perhaps even pick up a brush yourself. If there's one thing I'd love you to remember, it's that painting isn't about making perfect decisions every time. It's about exploring, experimenting, and enjoying the process. Every painting teaches us something, and every brushstroke is another step in our creative journey. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a like and subscribed to the channel. It truly helps me continue creating these videos and sharing my passion for painting with all of you. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Where are you watching from today? What did you think of today's painting? And what subjects would you like me to paint in future videos? Many of my favorite ideas have come from your wonderful suggestions, so please keep them coming. If you'd like to see more of my artwork, you can visit my website, and you can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. You'll find all the links in the information section of my channel. And if there is a painting you've seen here on the channel that you're particularly interested in, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'd be delighted to hear from you and answer any questions you may have about it. Thank you once again for your kindness, your support, and for being part of this growing creative community. Reading your comments and seeing where you're joining from is one of the highlights of making these videos. Take good care of yourself. Keep creating, keep exploring, and keep finding beauty in the world around you. I hope to see you back here very soon for another relaxing painting session. Until next time.